Welcome back. Well, the SGX Nifty is indicating that we'll have a minor gap down. Although, I mean, my sense is that today is one of those days when the SGX Nifty could actually be wrong, given the way the dollar rupee will open and the dollar index has retreated. Dipan Mehta is joining us, passed up as director at Elixir Equities. Dipan, hi, good morning. Let's start with Z, because that's the one where there is this overhang, right, of CCI, because everyone is assuming that once it's cleared, you have a nice sort of multinational media corporation available at 5 times price to earnings, right? So, how do you approach it? Buy it even with the overhang, or wait for this to clear out, or just avoid it?
Good morning, Anuj, and thanks for having me on your show. Yeah, it sounds so nice and simple that you will have a nice big media company with MNC parentage. And I know that in our markets, MNC stocks do get a really high premium because of the quality of the management and corporate governance standards. But I think it's a tough industry. The competitive intensity is very high, and it's got major, headwinds coming from disruption coming through OTT. And on the whole, I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge for the management. So I would just like to wait and watch. The best time to buy Z and some of the other media companies would be when you're actually convinced that the worst is over and ad revenues are starting to pick up. And most importantly, that their OTT division has stabilized, is no longer a drag on the operations, and is going to be actually positively contributing to the bottom line, which is not the case with any of the listed media companies at present. And it's a checkered past track record as far as Z is concerned. So I would just put it under the wait and watch list.
Okay, under the wait and watch list. I wanted your thoughts on some of these chemical companies, right? They've come back in a big way. Dipan, SRF has announced that they're putting more capex on board at their Dahej plant as well. What would your pick of the pack be here?
Good morning, Sonia. Yeah, I think specialty chemicals are back in focus. And certainly, I think the longer-term trajectory for the industry is very good, given China +1. And now we're having this Europe +1 also investment theme, which has got a lot of players excited. And on the whole, I think capacity expansion should drive growth. But there's one bit of caution I'd like to, express over here. That being that these companies, you should expect volatility in their earnings. At the end of the day, B2B businesses, and passing on cost increases should always be a bit of a challenge. Having said that, with usual disclosure that we and our clients are invested, we like RT industry at this point of time. We are also invested in SRF. And then there are many new listings which have come through Aether Industries, Anupam Rasayan. I think all of them are not completely discovered in the market, but they have good business models, and if you track them over a longer period of time, I think you could find a few winners amongst the newer listings. I'm sorry, I don't have all the names, but at least 10 to 12 new specialty chemical companies have got listed in the past 12 months or so. And all of these have pretty interesting potentials going forward as well.
Okay, all right. Just stay on. Do you track, if in one quick minute, if you can tell me if you track Cosmo Films? It's now called Cosmo First. The reason I ask you, Dipan, is because we have the management coming up in just a few minutes from now. So is that a stock that you've tracked actively?
I had tracked it many years ago, but I'm looking forward to the interview just now.
Okay, so here it comes then.